That'd be sweet. I mean, I think that's going to be that's a matchup I'm looking forward to. So it'd be awesome to have a rematch in the finals, and I think it'd be good for the fans. And I'm excited to have that matchup.
It's always fun to wrestle someone that good. You know, really test yourself and makes you see if you're getting better. And honestly, it gives you a little bit of those butterflies, which is fun. I mean, that's why I started doing it.
It's exactly what everybody was hoping for at 165 pounds. Keegan O'Toole, two-time NCAA champion, three-time All-American. David Carr, 2021 NCAA champion and a three-time All-American. O'Toole, along with Ben Askren and Jaden Cox, the only Missouri Tigers to win multiple NCAA championships. Last year, defeated Carr in the finals in Tulsa, in this building. Capped off a 20-2 season. And Carr, a year ago, became Iowa State's second four-time Big 12 champion. The only other to do that in the Big 12 era, Cael Sanderson, 159-0 in his career. Mutual respect between these two competitors, because as much as fans wanted this matchup, they want this matchup even more. The 165-pound championship bout begins now.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the first time we're ever watching a conference championship of wrestling. These guys are among the best to ever do it at their respective universities. These guys are incredible.
Off we go for a matchup we may well see in just a couple of weeks at the T-Mobile Center in Kansas City for a national championship. But first, for a conference title.
Interesting. As you saw David Carr go for his blast double when he puts a head right in there, Keegan ducked his head.
Rockus, we sat and watched these semifinals yesterday. Isaac Olenek of Oklahoma State, the transfer from Northern Illinois, Peyton Hall. You'd love to see all those guys wrestle again. It was such a good semifinal matchup here at 165.
You can argue that 165 is so top heavy in the NCAAs.
Keep the hands clean. Keep the hands clean. Stay on the fingers. Get out of there.
At stake here for Carr as well, the opportunity to join Oklahoma State's Dayton Fix as the only two five-time Big 12 champions.
Wrestle on the edge.
Very interesting. Keegan O'Toole defended that blast double very well.
Warning, back it out here. Hey, we got a circle. We got to stand here and wrestle. Let's go.
Stalling against O'Toole of Missouri for backing out.
Josh Briscoe, the official.
Official felt that he did not do enough effort to stay in. He just kind of walked out. So David Carr has fired off some shots, but hasn't really gotten too far, and Keegan O'Toole hasn't really fired off a shot yet. But once Keegan O'Toole gets to a leg, he's very good at finishing. And you can say that's true for David Carr as well.
Action.
There's a single.
Minute in the first.
Heavy hips. Now Keegan is going to try and sit to the corner. David Carr is going to be very patient here. The first time they wrestled, it was a very similar situation where David Carr was able to finish. So it's just very patient because David Carr knows if he makes one bad situation, Keegan will sit the corner and slide to a cradle. And you can see the arm going back to look for the cradle. Now he's going to crunch him. Now David is trying to keep his shoulder right in the pocket. He doesn't want that shoulder to get out of the pocket. Now, at this point, Keegan O'Toole is trying to sit a little more. David wants to keep his shoulder right in there. He doesn't want it to get a slide out, which gives nothing yet. And that's the end of the first period.
They both glance over at the clock and realize 3 minutes gone. Nothing on the board yet. Nate Carr, David's dad, one of 6 father-son duos to win Division I titles. As David goes for his second here. Born in Canton, Ohio this year. Nice move from the coaching staff. Got to wrestle back in his home state. A duel against Cleveland State at Perry High School in Massillon, Ohio, his alma mater.
Here's the crazy thing. You would think that Iowa State would be the red singlet, the red ankle bands, rather.
Well, don't try and put too much logic onto it, Rob.
Red. 1, 2.
And there's the escape. Throughout his career, David Carr has been very good at sweep singles. He's really added that blast double of late. But as you saw when he had that sweep single, Keegan is very good at covering the head and putting weight on the head by giving heavy hips.
These two went to sudden victory the Big 12 finals last year. Ended with a pin by David Carr.
Stay out of that.
There's so many things going on right now that we say they're just standing there and grabbing. There's little things that you're seeing that may not make sense to the naked eye, but to them, they're setting it up.
Wrestle through that. Ricky, hey, keep working. Wrestle through those positions.
And certainly a case here in this matchup of guys who know each other so well, have studied each other so much, having faced off many times in the past. Hard to get an advantage. Toole the takedown. He leads 3-1.
That was a long shot there by David Carr. Very long shot. He didn't have his arms, his hips underneath him. And because of that, Keegan O'Toole was able to put his head to the side and get behind. But the shot, if you look at that shot, it was a very long shot by David Carr.
20 seconds.
And Keegan O'Toole is doing a good job. He wants to end this period on top.
Stay set. Wait on me.
16 seconds.
Set, red,
Keegan
cover.
O'Toole wants to make sure he keeps David Carr down. David wants to get up.
Carr can get it to 1 going into the third. He does. And the lead 3-2 for the defending NCAA champion Keegan O'Toole.
I mentioned early in the broadcast that one of the underrated pieces of David Carr's arsenal is his ability to do very good things from top wrestling. Let's see if he's going to try and keep Keegan down.
Green. Wrestle. Green. 1 red.
He decided he's going to beat him on his feet if he can.
4-2 O'Toole.
4-2. Keegan O'Toole has 1 stall called against him.
Next will be a point for Carr.
Oh. Right in there. Again, good. That's Keegan O'Toole is very good there. Look at him pushing the head down. David Carr knows this is where Keegan O'Toole is very good. And this is where David Carr is trying to finish it, but Keegan O'Toole is doing a good job of really putting the pressure on the shoulder.
Neutral.
Patience is going to win here. Patience on Keegan O'Toole's part, patience on David Taylor's part. This is Keegan O'Toole looking very good here. He's going to try and slip that arm in. Nothing. This is just, no one wants to let go here. Taking lots of pressure here.
Carr trying to make it his advantage.
Oh my goodness. Now Keegan O'Toole is on the leg. This is wizardry right here.
Epic scramble between number 1 and number 2. 3 more for O'Toole to to go.
It looks like David Carr's resolve that Keegan O'Toole has won the last two. It went from David Carr being in on the leg. Keegan O'Toole was in a dangerous position, and somehow he ended up on the leg, came through, and Keegan O'Toole is looking to go into the NCAA championships as your #1 seed.
O'Toole emerges victorious here in Tulsa for these two who may well be destined to meet again in just a couple of weeks. Rock is a fan of not only wrestling, but just competition. You have to admire the respect that those two have for each other.
At the end of the match, they said some words to each other. It wasn't just a good job. They had a small conversation, and that's all you have, mutual respect, because these guys are so good. And here's what we saw. This is where David Carr had the leg, and then he brings it over, and it looks like Keegan O'Toole was in danger in this position. As soon as he swivels his hip, what does Keegan do? He gets in on the leg. Some things you can coach, but some things you can just feel. And Keegan O'Toole was one of those guys. And at that point, David Carr resolved that I have to wrestle him again, hopefully in Kansas City.
O'Toole adds another trophy to a very crowded display case that he continues to build on. And let's go over to Quinn.
We take his tape off.
Keegan taking the tape off. How do you describe what happened on the scramble?
You know, yesterday I wasn't happy with my performance and mentality, and so I was just telling myself, Ecclesiastes 11, I forget the verse, my awesome teammate Cam Steed said it to me last night. It was, farmers who wait for the perfect weather to harvest won't ever plant, and if they watch every cloud, they're not gonna harvest. So I think I may mess it up, but basically the point is, don't be perfect. So if I take some bad shots and give up some single legs, it's no big thing. I think the scrambles favor me, and they did in that match. I got that reshot takedown, and then we got in that long scramble at the end. And I was in that position every time, and the ref was counting danger. I'm like, I'm fine. And I just kept wrestling through everything. That dude's freaking tough.
He is.
Damn good.
Yeah, there's mutual respect, clearly. How do you characterize the rivalry? How does it make you better?
We both love the Lord, and we both push each other to be better at wrestling, but also not to chase worldly things, but to chase what's up above and work for a higher purpose. He loved us first, so we should work for him. And I think we exemplify that really well. So I got no beef with him, nothing. I love wrestling against him. He's tough, he's strong, he's fast, he's gritty, but I'm gonna bring my A game every time and wrestle as hard as I can. So I think I performed all right tonight.
Fun to watch. Congratulations.
Appreciate it.
Mike.
I want to know how many interviews Q has done sitting on the floor. Probably not many, but it's worth it for Keegan O'Toole, who will be working for a third NCAA championship coming up in Kansas City as he defeats David